Good morning to all of you. Welcome to Budapest. I'd like to wholeheartedly welcome my dear friend and colleague, Minister Blanár. Dear Juraj, thank you so much for paying a visit to Budapest on the occasion of this very important event. I also would like to express our appreciation to the former State Secretary of Foreign Affairs of the Slovak Republic, dear Lukáš. I really appreciate that you have delivered on what you have committed yourself to. And we appreciate that during these turbulent times, you make sure that Visegrad 4 does not only survive, but becomes more and more visible. We are grateful to the Council of the Slovak Exporters to put together the Visegrad 4 Business Conference. We are happy that a tradition has already been being built, and Budapest and Hungary are part of that tradition now. When it comes to the foreign policy strategy of Hungary, then the Visegrad 4 is one of the hearts of this strategy. And we do consider the Visegrad cooperation as a true success story. A success story which has contributed to the reunification of the European continent, and a success story which has helped all four of us to strengthen our positions in Europe. We are now living in the age of dangers, and we Central Europeans have a, unfortunately, very vivid memory about how it feels to live in a world which is being divided into blocks, and how it feels to be the losers of such a global order. All of us in Central Europe have experienced how it feels to be oppressed from the East and to be neglected from the West. Therefore, we Central Europeans, we the countries of the Visegrad cooperation, has helped each other in the transition period. We helped each other when it came to the accession of the Western integrations. And this year, we are happy to celebrate the 20th anniversary of our accession to the European Union, with which we basically have retaken our position in the integration to which we always belong to, actually. We are proud that the Visegrad countries have developed so quickly and so much in the recent years that we basically became, Central Europe basically became the growth engine of the European economy. And based on all this experience, we can draw the conclusion that it is much better to live in a world which is being based on a free cooperation of all nations and countries, which is being based on free global trade and free global economy, than living in a world which is artificially divided into blocks. Unfortunately, when you look at the political discourse in the European Union, the expressions decoupling and de-risking are still being mentioned too often. And the will to isolate Eastern and Western world from each other is still being a, let's say, a strong initiative on behalf of some of our friends in our integrations. But I do believe that this is a wrong intention. Isolating ourselves from any part of the world is a wrong intention, and can cause harm to the European economy a lot, which has already been bleeding, unfortunately, from many wounds. If we look back, the basis for the development of the European economy was a healthy East-to-West cooperation, a healthy combination of the highly developed Western technologies and the easily accessible Eastern energy sources. This is gone. But the bigger problem is that nothing came to replace this former way of operation. You know, because of decisions in and by Brussels, Europe, with some exceptions, has cut its energy cooperation with the eastern part of the continent. That has caused a loss of a GDP growth of 1 year for the entire European economic community. Currently in Europe, companies pay 2-3 times more for electricity and 4 or 5 times more for gas compared to the competitors on the other side of the ocean. So if there are business people who can still put together competitive business plans based on this reality, we need to cherish and honor all of them. So instead of dividing the world into blocks again, we are working towards connectivity. We want the upcoming period of time to be characterized by connections. And this strategy of ours here in Hungary is being called the strategy of economic neutrality. And economic neutrality is not an ideology. It's the physical reality. Hungary has become the meeting point of the Eastern and Western economies, of the biggest Eastern and Western investors. We are one of the 2 countries in Europe and one of the 3 in the world where all 3 German premium car makers are present. And we are the only country in Europe and one of the very few in the world where 5 of the top 10 Eastern battery manufacturers are present. It's interesting to see in Hungary that German and Chinese companies are building their factories not only in the same country, not only in the same city, but on the neighboring pieces of land. So for those who care about the supplier chain, that must be a good news. And here in Hungary, we stick to the fact that things which are of physical nature must not be ideologized. Therefore, we have maintained our well-functioning energy cooperation towards the East as well, which can ensure the competitiveness of our economy in the future. And don't forget, you only change energy sources if you have a better offer. So far, no better offer has been made. And on top of that, with political statements, it's very complicated to heat during the winter. You need gas and oil to operate your country. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, we do consider the Visegrad cooperation as a very important path to move forward when it comes to the development of this region and of our countries. We would like to concentrate on issues where the interests of the Visegrad countries do coincide and do align with each other. We do believe that economy is one of these areas. Therefore, when it comes to our V4 presidency starting in July next year, we will concentrate on such pragmatic issues, and I hope that we will be able to cooperate with the Council of Slovak Exporters on that matter as well. Finally, I'd like to say that that reality and pragmatism is so important that regardless of any political episodes, all 3 Visegrad countries are among the top 6 trading partners of ours. Slovakia is definitely the number 1 in this line. Slovakia has become the 2nd most important trading partner of ours generally last year. That has never happened before. Slovakia is the number 2 trading partner of Hungary, which I think is a clear evidence of the pragmatic approach of both governments when it comes to building relationship on the both sides of the Danube. Our trade has broken records and has exceeded 15 billion euros. But Poland ranks number 3, Czech Republic ranks number 6 as well, and currently there are 180 Polish, 476 Czech, and 975 Slovak-owned companies operating in Hungary, employing altogether almost 30,000 Hungarians. So I would like to argue in favor of the enhancement and the improvement of the economic cooperation among all 4 countries of ours. I'd like to ensure you that the Hungarian government lends its maximal support to you to cooperate, and I do hope that the Council of Slovak Exporters will contribute to breaking new records when it comes to trade between our 2 countries and among the Visegrad countries. Please feel welcome and wish you all the best, and I hope that today you will be able to build connections which then will bring a lot of profit to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Minister, for those inspiring words. I would now like to ask His Excellency Mr. Juraj Blanár to share his opening remarks with us.
Good morning, dear Mr. Minister Peter Szijjártó, dear friends, State Secretaries, Ambassadors, representatives of the private and public sectors, colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, excellencies. I fully agree what Peter has said, because this global analysis is very important to see what is going on around us and what is important for our future to do. The central theme of today's forum is reuniting the Visegrad 4 through business. This is a very good sign that Visegrad 4 is alive. This is very important because some of them try to do something that Visegrad 4 will not be working properly. But I think this forum is a sign that we can cooperate together. Thanks very much to the Committee of Slovak Exporters to organize this event, and also the other parts who participate in this. Over 30 years ago, our countries came together under the V4 regional format. Originally started as a V3, but after the splitting ex-Czechoslovakia, or former Czechoslovakia, we have V4. This format is very important in the middle of Europe. Since then, our cooperation has varied, swinging from intensive engagement to more reserved interaction. I feel that now is the right moment to renew our collaboration. The V4 is a dynamic market with over 65 million inhabitants. We are united by the human, linguistic, cultural, and historical ties. Together we can realize our cooperation through various projects, partnerships, and joint initiatives. While numerous tools, opportunities, and funds are available, what truly matters is the commitment of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, today we face challenges, as was mentioned. Unstable global markets, rising energy prices, and regional conflicts involving our neighbors. But do these represent threats or opportunities? That depends on how we choose to view them. Slovakia stands as one of the most open economies in Europe and the largest car manufacturer per capita in the world. Our economy relies heavily on export and foreign direct investment. With an export to GDP ratio of 91%, we rank among the top 10 most open countries globally. We must acknowledge our reality. Currently, we observe a decline in the European Union's competitiveness. While we may have differing options on specific issues, or interests to protect, we must work together with other member countries to seek consensus and support the overall institutional framework for everyone's benefit. Our membership in the European Union and adherence to the unified rule are unquestionable. However, we must also respect the sovereignty and national interests of individual countries and states. Strong counterweights to the European Union are emerging in both, on the one side, West, the USA, on the other side, the East, China and India. We need to find our place in the market, even outside the EU. The government of the Slovak Republic has prioritized strengthening Slovaks' competitiveness, identifying attractive investment and opportunities, and establishing a presence in the new emerging markets. As a minister, I am committed to supporting the prosperity and welfare of Slovak citizens. Our foreign policy extends in all four cardinal directions. Global events confirm that we are on the right path. Our ambition is to diversify our economic activities into promising emerging region and sectors. Strengthening economic cooperation across different territories is key to our resilience and prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, politics and economics are linked. One cannot exist without the other. Ministry of Foreign Affairs is not just focusing on political and security priorities. We want to assure that economic diplomacy is our priority, aiming to support Slovak companies. It is essential to advance our economic interests abroad while attracting investors to our region. After contributing a complex analysis of promising regions, we have recognized our networks. We reorganized our network of embassies. We are entering the dynamic developing Southeast Asia market by opening embassies in Malaysia and the Philippines. These regions not only offer economic cooperation but also opportunities to address labor shortages. We are also returning to Algeria, where we have historical ties that we wish to strengthen, and Tanzania, where we see perspective in enhancing economic cooperation. Our goal is to have an economic diplomat in every major territory beneficial to us. That's why we are increasing number of our full-fledged economic diplomats from 17 to 49. Their role is to assist you, the representative of business sector, in opening door to new markets and arrange the support for economic activities within territories covered by the embassies. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Slovak's Prime Minister led working visit with business delegation to Azerbaijan, South Korea and China. Visit to Serbia and Brazil are planned before year end. I personally visited India and South Korea, and I'm planning to visit Algeria in early 2025. I extend a helping hand, and you pursue your ambition in a new market. Both private and public sector representatives can participate in these business missions. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, dear Peter, to conclude, changes in political leaderships are natural, but they should not undermine our relationships. Let us sever ties when differences arise or when views diverge. Instead, let us build our cooperation on what unites us. You may have heard that the Visegrad Group has lost its meaning. However, this business forum proves that Visegrad cooperation has both purpose and a promising future. Thank you very much for your attention, and good luck.